Hello and welcome to Ryno's Ravens preview. It's Steelers week. First one of the year, Baltimore Ravens at Pittsburgh Steelers. As you can see, I am here on BaltimoreRavens.com. Let's take a look at the injury report. It's a lot better looking than in past weeks, and it's better looking than this long list would seem. Jalen Armour-Davis, Rashad Bateman have had at least full participants in 2 of the 3 practices this week and are not listed with a game status, which should mean they will play. Now, I will say Kenny Pickett is, at this point, he's going to play, which an article earlier in the week suggested that he would miss. So, can't always, even sometimes, go by some of these injury reports because you just don't know sometimes. Odell Beckham, limited participant all week. He is questionable. We'll get to more of that in one of the articles later. Justice Hill, limited participant Wednesday and Thursday, but as you can see, full participant Friday. So it's likely that we will see Justice Hill get some carries. Humphrey, same thing. Limited Wednesday and Thursday, full participant Friday. So the signs are good that we will see Marlon Humphrey for the first time this year. Keaton Mitchell, running back way down on the depth chart, especially if Justice Hill is good to go. He did have some kind of shoulder injury. There aren't that many details on what the injury actually is, but full participant Wednesday and Friday, nothing Thursday. Must have had an off day, I guess. He's probably going to go. Morgan Moses, who has a long streak of being able to start games, did not participate Wednesday or Friday, limited Thursday. He's listed as doubtful. And it's probably doubtful for him, which is kind of sucks. Ronnie Stanley, full participant Wednesday and Thursday. Did not participate Friday, listed as questionable. Good sign that he may be able to go. So I skipped one on the list. Dafe Owe is out. Did not participate all week. Marcus Williams, full participant all week. So the indicators point to he will play. Oh, and I finally made use of all my little sticky notes around here, not too far into the show. Please like and subscribe, and you will be notified when the review show drops. All right, so Marcus Williams. Looks like he's going to be able to go. Darryl Worley, out. He's not a superstar in the secondary, but he is a very good depth piece anyway. We'll call it that. Did I even know Patrick Peterson was still playing? Is that the same Patrick Peterson? What is he, 100 by now? Yeah, see, you can see the Steelers injury report here. Kenny Pickett looks like he's going to go. All right, let's get on to some of the news. Not a whole lot of news. I mean, apparently there is the story that Patrick Queen has told about Mike Tomlin telling Patrick Queen that he's not a Raven. And this was during the rookie year that Patrick Queen had because he hadn't beaten the Steelers. Well, I mean, we all know Mike Tomlin. He's kind of a dickhead. And he is the only coach to jump on the field and disrupt the play. Or at least the only one in my memory. And he got away with it. See what happens this week. Keep his ass on the sideline. This is the news and articles section. Let's go to one of these injury Ryan Mink, editorial director, wrote this article really talking about Marlon Humphrey. He separated it into sections. Marlon Humphrey and Marcus Williams. They talking about the line with Stanley and Moses. And then with the wide receivers. Bateman really looking like he's going to go. Beckham, to a certain extent, may or may not go. Kind of tough to see. Tough to tell, but we'll see. Actually, there is an article on that. And with the offensive lineman, it looks like Stanley is more likely to play than Morgan Moses. So what potentially is going to happen is Stanley will come back and go into left tackle, and McCary will then keep starting, but then start at right tackle. You don't really... Usually with linemen, if you're set on the left side, you kind of shift a little bit, and especially even with your legs. So there is a left hand, right hand dominance kind of factor there. So you usually don't like to keep flip-flopping them or even make a left tackle like, say, Stanley play right tackle in favor of McCary, who's been playing left tackle for the past few weeks. Can throw off some of their timing and rhythm if they got a pass block, or really it's about their back pedal to create the pocket. You don't really want to disrupt that by making them trying to change their, I guess it wouldn't be left hand dominance, it would be left foot or right foot dominance. But McCary is the more experienced in going from side to side in position to position, so probably going to see Stanley at left tackle, McCary at right tackle. Talking about the secondary, could see the secondary at full strength for the first time this year. At least starters anyway. Humphrey, back. Probably. Good chance. Not going to say guarantee yet. Been burned before. Marcus Williams, it looks like that pectoral injury is at a point where he's good enough to go. Again, it would appear so based on some of these articles I'm seeing. We won't really know until tomorrow at game time. Now, Beckham, what is it? This article written by Clifton Brown, BaltimoreRavens.com staff writer. Odell Beckham, and you can see it in the headline right here, Odell Beckham expects to play. And the time off, not being up for certain games, in his words, or in Clifton Brown's words, Clifton Brown's words quoting Odell Beckham's words, sure. Preventative, precautionary were some of the words used. So it's not necessarily an injury that, let's say in a playoff game, he would have missed a playoff game. That's the way I take it. Oh, I didn't bring up the schedule. But again, this is Steelers week, so not sure some of this really matters. Especially with the story that Patrick Queen, memory serves, this is the first time that Patrick Queen has talked about that. How in his rookie year and being near the Steelers sideline on the play was having Tomlin yell at him about not being a Raven. It's possible it was talked about and it was many years ago and I just forgot. Sounds like a thing. To a certain extent, when some of these players are interviewed ahead of Steelers week, they have mentioned that they don't necessarily feel like a Raven until they beat the Steelers. Now, it's one thing to say that about yourself. It's another to have some dickhead head coach start yelling at you from the sideline about it. Not that any player should need any extra motivation for a Ravens and Steelers game, which is set for Sunday, October 8th at 1 p.m. in Pittsburgh. So another road game, another divisional road game, which isn't terrible if you think about it. Where did we play? When we played Cincinnati at home, in Cincinnati. So you're getting all these at Cincinnati, at Cleveland, and at Pittsburgh games out of the way early. So when call it the postseason push comes, you got the home game. So a little bit of benefit there. But at the same time, I don't know that it necessarily matters in this matchup. These two teams know each other well. It's not like we have no idea what the Steelers do. They play defense very well. They put pressure on the quarterback a lot. They have, which Watt is it? TJ Watt, one of the best edge rushing linebackers in the game right now. Don't know about, in history. And they have Highsmith, linebacker, pass rusher man on the other side. May not be as good as TJ Watt, but because TJ Watt is as good as he is and Highsmith being as good as he is, they're kind of amplified because you got one from either side now. Kind of what the Ravens kind of wanted to do with Owe and Ojabo, who are, neither one are playing because Owe you saw was out and Ojabo is on IR, which kind of sucks there. That is something that is going to be very key in this game, being able to put pressure on the quarterback. But at the same time, the Steelers do have to be able to contain Lamar, because you can sack Lamar. Lamar's taking sacks, but can you keep him from running around all over the place on you? It's somewhat hard to do. But the Steelers do have a tendency to like to play a 3-4 defense and bring their outside linebackers on the line, so to create a 5-man front does make it a little harder for a quarterback like Lamar to get outside, because these linebackers are already on the outside and it's a little easier for them to play contain. But don't sleep on the Ravens here, okay? Not that I'm sleeping on them, but as much as I just praised the Steelers, you got to look at the Ravens here. They're getting people back. It looks like Humphrey's back. It looks like Williams is back. That's going to help the secondary a lot. Yeah, they lost a few pass rushers, but Van Noy doesn't look too bad. And you know what? That was a game where he was like 2 days prepared for. Now he's got a whole week to prepare for it. Clowning on the other side. Or maybe it's the same side. I don't know what side they play on. The offensive line for the Ravens is going to be a mystery. We'll see how well they hold up. Maybe look to see somebody like Ricard stay in there and block a little bit more. Todd Monken has been using Ricard this season. I was kind of concerned that maybe the style of offense from Todd Monken wouldn't allow for Ricard to get as much playing time, but don't necessarily see that as the case. All right, let's wrap this up. Ravens at Steelers tomorrow. Huge game. Not only is it battle in the AFC North, but it's huge rivalries. For whatever reason, maybe it's just because I've been a Ravens fan this long, but the rivalries between the teams in the AFC North just seem so much bigger than anywhere else. I think part of it is because, especially with the Ravens and the Steelers, and the Browns for the most part, they're very defense-oriented. Lots of hard hitting, lots of tackling, lots of sacking. football. It's really what it sounds like. Old school football. Not this new school high-flying acrobatic garbage. That is what we look to see tomorrow. All right, that is going to do it for this edition of Ryno's Ravens Preview. Ryno's Ravens Review. Look for that to drop Monday. Be sure to like and subscribe. I'm the Angry Ryno. Fly, Ravens, fly.